Hello, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us today, this afternoon, in your show, Wellness Connection. My name is Yuridia Megehe, and I will be your host for today. The purpose of this show is to bring you topics about wellness and what to do in case you may be in a process of an illness or recuperating, or curious about what to do in whatever phase of life you may be. It is important to know that this show is not intended to take away the help of a doctor, medication, or anything. Instead, is to integrate wellness and consciousness into what to do, what you can do, and what tools you need to have to take care of yourself and be more in touch with yourself. And today is a very special day. Today is a very special day because we have a special topic, and not only a special topic about detoxification, but also a very dear friend of mine, an inspiration. Her name is Coach Kelli Ragline, and she's here to share with us her journey, her expertise, and what you can do and what she has done to take care of herself and bring you hope. So without further ado, I welcome you, and thank you so much for taking the time to come and help us.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here.
Yes. So tell me, how has your journey been on the wellness?
Well, this happened some time ago, about 7 years ago. I experienced a health crisis of my own. I had malignant melanoma, stage 3. Skin cancer, and it was caught by happenstance. I have a redheaded son, and so I always take him in and make sure that he's checked from head to toe for all of his little freckles. And I had something that was growing on my arm, and I had mentioned to the doctor, I go, just in passing, you know, is this okay? Because it's gotten a little bit bigger, and when it bleeds, it won't stop. But I don't think it's cancer because it doesn't follow any of the other rules.
Right.
And he looked at it and he said, no, we need to come in and have you check this tomorrow. And so I had it removed just for a test, and it came back stage 3 malignant melanoma, which is scary because it can move very quickly. So I went in and had my lymph nodes checked. It had not gone to my lymph nodes, so I was very fortunate. But they needed to remove the whole piece. So I had a surgery, and I went under anesthesia and had a large piece of flesh taken out of my arm, and that was great. It got all of it. However, I experienced over the next several days to weeks just a feeling of like sluggishness, like I was walking through mud and I was just tired all the time, and I'd never been through any type of surgery before, so I didn't really understand what to expect.
Right.
So on my follow-up doctor visit, I asked him about it. I said, I just don't know what's going on. I'm so tired, and I feel like I'm just drudging through every day, like I'm just thick with mud around me. And he said, well, it can be the anesthesia. It takes about a year to completely get out of your system. And I was flabbergasted. It didn't even occur to me. Now, I may be sensitive because, like I said, I don't take any medications or anything. So for me, it hit me really strong.
Right, and you've never done a surgery before.
I've never had a surgery before, so I didn't know. But I started doing some research because that's one of the things I like to read about is health and how to be healthier and how to eat better. But I hadn't really gone to anything on this level because I hadn't had a health crisis. So I started reading about the juicing. I did that. And I did some things called rebounding, where it's basically you're doing jump ropes or you're bouncing on a little trampoline. And what it does is it helps the lymph fluid move through your system so that your body can detoxify itself. And that helped, but it wasn't fantastic. And then I came across something called hydrocolonics. And I had been a person who has struggled with constipation my entire life, off and on, ever since I was a child. And I drink a lot of water and I eat fruit, but for whatever reason, something was always just kind of, whenever I'm stressed or travel, everything just kind of stops. So I thought about this hydrocolonic. I read about it, and I thought I'd give it a try. I went in and talked with a therapist, and she said, really what you want to do is have about 2 or 3 sessions over a period of a couple weeks, and then maybe do another follow-up a few weeks after that. And I did, I believe it was about four sessions. After my 4th session, about the next day, it was like the lights went on. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so amazing. Like, I feel energized. My mind is clear.
Like better than before the surgery, better than anything. Wow.
Yeah, I felt better than I had in years. And I didn't think I felt bad until I felt really good. So I was like, wow, people need to know about this. And so I went to health coaching school, and I'm a pretty passionate person. I love to talk to people. When I know a truth or something that is going to improve somebody's life,
or something that has helped you,
that has helped me, that I know will help somebody else, I can't really shut up about it. Like, I have to tell people. And I'm that weird person in the grocery store that you're standing next to, that mentions something, and I'll start talking to you, and it's just kind of my way. And some people are ready for it, some people are not. But this has taken me on this journey, and what I've discovered about myself is this is my journey. I am a health coach. I've always been kind of a coaching person. I've coached high school dance teams, and I've coached people in other things. But this is what I love, because I can actually impact somebody's life and help them in their journey, figure out what works for them. And so as a health coach, I emphasize cleansing and detoxifying, but I also work with them to find their own modes of food and exercise, sleep, and then really one of the big things that I've really come across is finding your purpose and connection. Because you can have health, you can maybe even sleep pretty good, you might be eating well enough, but you're still sort of unhappy and you're sort of disconnected. Like, what's my passion? Sometimes you need a little help, a little push, and some ideas. And what I try to do is support my people, my clients, and help them find what's right for them.
And for everyone, it's very different. Their journey is very different. For you, something had to happen for you to take note of, how can I feel just as good as I used to feel before, even when I was constipated, right? But then you found, oh wait, there is a way I can actually feel good. I don't have to be uncomfortable. And I always like to talk about that analogy of the frog. Like, if you get a pot of water and put a frog in it and turn it on slowly and heat it up until it goes to a boil, the frog doesn't even know what's happening. The frog will go into a soup.
You get used to it.
Versus getting the pot of boiling water and putting a frog. The frog is going to try to save its life, right? And this is where probably you are right now. Like 7 years later, is like you are in that boiling water, where now you are more aware of sensitivities, and this is not good, this is not me, this is and it's often everyone has a journey, and there's no judgment. We all have, we have to find our purpose, and something sometimes has to happen, and it's not a punishment. I think the body sometimes sends us messages, right? I think about it as the dashboards on cars, right? The cars will have lights of like more oil, or more fluids, or more gasoline, or check engine. Our bodies don't have lights, Our bodies, the only way that can send you a message is by giving you that headache, or constipation, or
pain in your knee,
inflammation, really or not tired. Sleeping, and often, because of our life, we all have jobs and families, and what we think for the moment is looking for temporary fixes, right? To where
take the pill,
just take coffee. I don't feel good, take coffee. And the body is so marvelous that it goes along with you. It wants to help you, and
we can heal. That's the thing, is if we take some of the toxins or things that are not working well for us.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just a food.
Right.
And, we've heard of gluten intolerance. But it can be any myriad of things. I had some testing done on myself and found out that I was intolerant or have a sensitivity to almonds. I eat a lot of almonds. I eat almond butter. Chicken eggs. I love eggs.
Because they're good, right?
Eggs,
yeah.
So, and then whey protein. Well, I was doing protein shakes.
Right.
So no wonder I was feeling stiff and
constipated.
in my whole body. So I do duck eggs now. I can do duck eggs. I do other nuts. There's so many alternatives. We live in a fantastic time where there's so many products available to us.
Right.
And so much information if you really want to look for it.
And there's nothing wrong with you. If you are allergic, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You just have to find your body is not taking it right now. I believe that it's always good to go into an elimination diet. Like if you think you might have some sensitivity to dairy, take it out for a month and see how you feel. But sometimes the body needs to go into a detox. It needs to reset. There are greater toxins in the environment than certain foods. But sometimes the body says, okay, well, there are toxins in the environment, in the air we breathe. I'd rather have a reaction to the food because it's a lot easier to do it. She or he needs to breathe the air. So let's make sure that she's able to take the air. So the body's always trying to find ways to help you.
Right. Right. And we also have like this, it's been told, like a cup. Everybody's cup is a little bit different. This cup is what we can take toxins in. And once that cup fills up and starts to run over, that's when we start feeling disease or other issues. And maybe we've had some trouble along the way while this cup is filling up.
Yeah.
But our body has natural ways of being able to detoxify itself. What happens is once that cup gets full, it becomes too much. And so that's when we start getting some headaches, and we're getting the knee pains, or we're having the constipation, or we're having brain fog, and we're not sleeping well. And so then it can turn into things over long term.
Chronic.
It can turn into cancer. It can turn into other problems. So we can't stop all the toxins from coming in. But what we can do is aid our body in being able to get rid of it.
So it's not overflowing.
Right. So we can't stress out about, oh my gosh, I can't have this and I can't have that. Even sugar. Like, we want to get rid of sugar as much as we can, but I like my treats on occasion. But we just need to.
We need to be a bamboo. We need to be flexible.
Be flexible.
If you are like a cedar tree, you're gonna be strong and strict and hard on yourself. But anytime and any big wind that blows, you're gonna crack.
Right.
You don't want to crack. You want to, be flexible and accommodate yourself.
And be good to yourself. And don't beat yourself up. That's one of the things that I talk about with my clients is, we have ideas and we have goals of what we want to do for our food and exercise and sleep and all of these things, which can be a lot. But if we learn over time, some of these things can become more natural. But there's going to be times that we completely jump off and we are doing everything wrong. But you just go, okay, it's all right, Kelly. I'm gonna do better tomorrow. I'm getting back on.
I only did what I thought it was best for me then. Now it's different. Now that was 7 years ago. Hydrocolonics was what changed your life.
It really showed me that I can feel awesome. I can feel amazing and connected and present. My mind can be clear. It was very much like a veil lifting. Like I was looking through something that I could see through, but it was murky. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, wow.
I like this.
This was amazing for me.
So then, what was your next?
So from there, I decided I wanted to go to health coaching school, and I got my certificate so that I could actually coach other people. And I talked to people about going to these different types of hydrocolonic therapies. There are many different types. You can do your own, which is like an enema. I like the system called Libby. It's super easy. It's clean. You're private. and it was wonderful. And basically what you're doing is you're sitting in this big sort of chair, very comfortable by yourself, and you put in about that far a very small tube, so it's not very big. It's really not a problem. And then it pushes water through your colon, and the more you sit there, the further higher up it goes. And this is the weird thing. This is why I know I'm designed for this. It goes down into a tube, and it comes around, and it's a clear tube. And I enjoy seeing that, which is weird for a lot of people. But you can kind of see what's coming out of you, and you see mucus. Sometimes it's been known to people to see like worms. Once it gets to the yellow and green color, that's bile. That means your liver is kicking out toxins. So that's what's really exciting, and it's weird, I get it, but you'll feel amazing. So there are some people who can't do it, that have had some surgeries and that sort of thing. But for most people, I would say try it. Give it a whirl.
Hydrocolonics. But like if you're not ready for it, you can have people come to you and start with an elimination diet.
Yeah.
Or you detoxify. That's another thing that I know you do.
Yes.
Right.
And adding natural fibers, adding besides normal fruits and that sort of thing, there's some other little potato starch, modified potato starch has been also a game changer for me, just a little bit of it, and it really helps. It's actually a prebiotic, helps feed the good bacteria in your gut. So that is something else that I work with people, is trying to get the good bacteria going through good foods. Probiotics, there's a whole gamut of probiotics out there, and it's difficult to know exactly which one's good, but when you go to food is always good.
Yeah, because it can get very complicated. I also have clients that will come to me and say 1,000, 300,000 of but I think the easier route is to only, like, supplements are just that, supplement something. There's always, probiotics and, unfermented foods. You can make it, I didn't know about the potato starch.
Yeah. Well, it's a prebiotic. So it's the food for the good bacteria.
Well, beans are a prebiotic too. So, but you need to be clean to be able to take the prebiotic.
Well, you don't have to be, and I suggest doing some of that already right away, because any good bacteria you got in there, you want to feed them. Right. You want them to start crowding out the bad bacteria. But you do get cleansing will help on numerous different areas, not just the gut, but then through the lymph fluid and everything else starts moving and getting the toxins out through all of our different modes of doing so. Right. So along with that, eating whole food always, that is the one diet that's good for everybody. Right. Whether you do vegetarian or you do meat, if it's whole food, you're good to go.
Yeah. And it's important to know also that, it's not sometimes just food. There's a lot of things that come with it, like you probably help your clients to how to chew your food,
Oh my goodness, food. Yes.
Like for a long time, we thought that digestion started right here, and digestion starts right here in your mouth, not right here in my cheek. But digestion, is important, because if your food is not digested, then when it goes here, your tummy or your GI tract, has a hard time processing all of that. Yeah. So then you're going to have gas, constipation. It's not going to process good.
People can be low in hydrochloric acid too, which helps with the digestion. And so if you're low in that, and then you don't chew your food up really well, it's all of that. And I had kids, and I would eat, hurry up, eat, because I am busy.
And you're driving,
so you're driving and you're eating, and so it seems silly to just think about just chewing more, but chewing more really helps.
It does, and create some consciousness. Just be mindful about what you're doing, and really. I love this. I went to a house, somebody's house, and they have two daughters, and one of them cooks and the other one does the dishes. And she says that she scrubs the dishes, and I said, you want some help? And she said, no. The more I scrub, maybe my Prince Charming will appear. Right? And so I thought, this doesn't probably have anything to do with what we're talking about, but I think when you're mindful, when you really take a moment and something good is going to happen if you are eating whatever it is that you're eating, you know, you are feeding, you're nourishing yourself.
Yes.
You know, you are already doing half of the work.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we focus so much on just food, but we need food, we need detoxification, we need a good night's sleep,
Deep breathing.
deep breathing. Yeah, and you can help your clients with that, right?
Yes. Yes. I enjoy it. It's super fulfilling.
So it sounds like all of your life you've been training to be a coach. You just didn't know what direction
What kind
you
of
were going.
coach?
Yes.
Yeah, I coached a high school dance team. I did that
Yes.
while I was actually in high school, and then I did it after that, and I loved it. I love working with people, and I'm supportive, but I also will hold you accountable, and I'll, you know,
And
I'll
you know,
hold your feet to the fire.
And I think that's important because you need to take responsibility for your own health, and you have got to want to be feeling better. You know, like it's your birthright.
Yeah, but you have to do the work.
You do.
You're not going to take a
Shortcuts?
pill. You're not going to just I'm going to eat great for a couple of days and feel all better,
Right.
and then go back to your normal ways. You can't do it.
Right.
It doesn't work. You got to continue to do it. Now, it doesn't require perfection.
Right.
But you just, most of the time, if like 85% of the time you're doing good, then you're on.
That's perfect.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know, like if you really have to start with yourself, and people are going to want to know, personally me, when I first met you, I mean, like I want some of your, you know, your excitement for life, and you know, you truly are inspiring, and you tend to have that attraction, that glow, that flavor for life. You know, when you have chosen to take care of yourself and to love yourself and to find answers and to work alone, you know, and find solutions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had some challenges. I'm 55, and things have, you know, changed all over.
Yeah.
And my body and my brain thinks I'm one age, and my body says, no, you're really not that age anymore. But I can still be good. I can, in fact, I'm happier now than I have been in years, and I feel better now than I have in years.
Yes.
And some of it is I've learned a lot, but I'm taking more time for myself. It doesn't hurt that my kids are in college. So, you know, it's all good. But turning 50 can be sort of devastating as a woman. It's like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm
menopause.
I'm going through all of this stuff, but it's awesome too, because I have a lot more time for myself, and I'm finding things that I love to do again. And that's what I have a podcast now, and I love that, and I talk about all kinds of different things, and it's a short little 5 to 10 minutes every week. It's called the Healthy Buzz Club, and you can find me on your podcast whatever your favorite podcasts are.
And at the end of the show, we're gonna have a link of her website, how you can find her. She's local. She's in Salem.
Yep.
Very close to Salem.
Just outside.
Outside of Salem. So, you know, the people that we're going to be having in this space is going to be people that you can have access to, you can talk to, real people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I want to be teaching some webinars and some local classes on cleansing and detoxifying, vision boards, you know, helping to bring things into your life and things to think about. There's just so much that goes on with being a health coach.
Yes.
And I love that, because there's so many things, and I'm a little bit like, oh, shiny thing, right? But, you know, I can go off and here and there, but I'm so curious about it, and
But that's what
fun.
keeps you going.
It is
when
so
you
much
lose
fun.
curiosity, is like, you know, like when a shark stops moving.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
You want to keep on
That's me, I'm a shark,
finding
moving.
out, you know, what's out there. How can you feel? And the other thing is that you don't have to get sick to find cleansing, to start a new, you know, you really don't have to. It's unfortunate for some of us and some people that, you know, sometimes their change happened due to an illness, due to a death of somebody, and then you became more aware, and you're like, okay, what is it that I can do? But you don't have to be on that stage in life. You
absolutely
really
not.
can.
You could just say, hey, I just want something more.
Right.
Like, can't I do something more? Can't I feel better? Can't I do something new?
Longevity, you know,
Yes.
for whoever, you know, you are lucky enough to have good health, well, then longevity will be your idea of, how can I be well? Really not living long, but living long.
Living well.
Well.
Yes.
Absolutely. At times, doctors do their best to keep us well, to keep us alive, but really not well.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure that, you are doing well, that you are, fulfilling your purpose here in life, which
Absolutely.
is to be.
We all have our unique journey, our unique gifts and skills,
Yes.
and we're here to do something. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's big.
Yeah.
And for me, I will hopefully impact some other people's lives. I already have. I've helped several people find things that they wanted to do in their life. I worked with one client who would not eat vegetables, and we started down that journey as an adult. I'm
Right.
like, you're an adult.
Yeah.
You should know. You know you're supposed to eat vegetables,
Yeah.
right?
Come on, let me show you.
It took a little bit, and we worked through a few different types of vegetables and finding stuff that was like a little easier to eat, wasn't too strong, and that's going to have a huge health impact on her. So
Yeah.
long term. So
and we are very healthy here in the Northwest because we have so much abundance of fresh fruits and vegetables and farmers markets, and Salem has a beautiful farmers market. Portland has a beautiful farmers market.
Yeah.
There's always I see this trend of people really having enough of feeling bad, being sick. They really want to feel better. And I love what you have, the concept about the purpose, finding purpose and finding
connection and purpose. Yeah. To me,
Yeah.
there's the five pillars for me is your food, what you should eat and what you shouldn't eat, your sleeping. Everybody needs to sleep
essential.
better.
Yes.
How many hours is right for you, but you need good deep sleep. You need exercise. Well, some people are yoga people, some people run. So
Right.
what works for your body?
Right.
You also need to, so food, sleep, stress. That's another one. How do you de-stress?
Right.
How do you manage your stress? Everybody's going to have stress. You're just going to have
Yeah.
stress all the time. How do you deal with it? And then purpose and connection. Purpose and connection is kind of together, but without that, you can have some of those things, but without purpose and connection, you kind of feels sort of hollow in life.
Right,
Like, why
right,
am I here? What am I
right.
doing? There has to be something more.
Yeah.
So we have that sort of innate feeling that we're driven to something, but sometimes it's hard to find that,
Yeah.
especially if you're not feeling good,
Find
you're
your
not
little-
sleeping
yes.
well, because you're not clear, you're not in touch with your feelings and the intuition that's calling you to
Right,
something.
right,
So if you
right.
can work on these other things, it can help you find your connection and
Right.
purpose.
It's like opening many doors, right?
Yes.
Like it's like your little tiny frog that lives within you.
My
It's
little
like
frog. Oh, it's my little
waiting.
frog.
Really?
It's
It's
my
like
little frog.
waiting. Oh, how cool. Well, I think you wanted to be mentioned. But I think, finding the purpose when you are not so concerned about not sleeping good, not feeling good, then you take care of all of those things, and then you find that you have a gift
Right.
for helping people,
Right. Right.
feel better.
Right.
And that can be truly amazing. And I'm excited because, I usually start the show talking about the two worlds, right? The medical world and the alternative world. And for a long time, we kept thinking about, how they're not separated. They have separated it for a long time, thinking they're divorced. They're like one is one thing and the other one is hocus pocus. But now we have found a way to integrate those two. They belong together. They are essential for one another. Even if you go to a doctor, they will say, well, you need to change your diet. You need to improve your sleep. You need to do this. And sometimes you find yourself, first of all, not knowing how to do it because you've never done it before.
Right.
So if you are, in a stage of life where it's critical that you need to take care of yourself, you don't even know how to do it,
Right.
where to go, how to
Right.
start.
Right.
So then you need to find someone that has been in the journey, someone
Yes.
that's a specialist on wellness, support,
Yeah.
and guide you. At the end of the day, is giving you the resources, giving you your torch back, giving you your power, your knowledge. Whatever path in life you are right now, there's always a solution, there's always answers, there's always ways for you to feel better and to find help. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.